Welcome everybody. Welcome. If you're watching from YouTube, you are very welcome. I'm happy to have you here. If you're watching from Facebook, and I'm also happy to have you here. So we're going to be making up this dress. I couldn't get a perfect zipper. I really have a bunch of zips at home. So I didn't even bother. I was thinking that I had something similar. But I couldn't. You know what? So we're going to be using what we have at home today. If it is your first time stopping by, you are welcome. You are very welcome. I'm happy to have you here. I'm just gonna use one of this because I cannot have bunch of zip at home. I should use the jacket. Bunch of zip at home, then I'll go ahead and buy a zipper. Okay, let me see. So first of all, let's wait for a few people to join so we can go ahead and start really quick. Quick. Okay. My beautiful people in the building, you guys are welcome. See, I was thinking that I could do all my stuff. So, this is going to be an easy one. It's going to be a very easy one. It's going to be an easy one. I'm sorry the table is white, but at least the fabric is different from the table. I'm trying to fix it up. Pull it right there. Okay. Okay. So we have about 12 people in the building for Facebook, and we have about 3 people on YouTube. So we're going to be using this fabric. This is crepe. I bought it some months backward. I can't remember when I bought this fabric, some months backward. And we're going to also be using organza. Now, because it's going to be a simple dress, so we need to give it a little bit of elegant look. All right, so this is organza I'm going to be using. This one too, I bought it several years ago. So I just say it's kind of a little bit similar. So we're going to be using it. It's actually, you can get the same, you can get different. But this, no, it's almost the same thing. So we are not going to, we're going to use this, okay? I've been having this home for a very long while. And I said, no, I'm going to make use of this too. The only thing I could not get was my zipper. I have bunches of zipper at home, so I didn't want to go ahead and buy another zipper where I already have zipper at home. Okay, so any one of these, this is an invisible zip. I believe we're not going to get any problems. Anyway, so when you buy fabric, you know that there's a stretchy side. There's a side that is more stretchy than the other side, okay? So first thing, let me show you what I mean. This is it, that my fabric, if I pull it up like this, you see the way it's stretched, right? If I pull it up like this, you see that it's stretched. If I pull it up like this, you see that it's stretched a little bit lesser than this other side. So let me put it again. So normally, when you buy fabric, the way we are always cutting off our pieces of fabric to avoid any, especially fabric that maybe it has thread and all those stuff. So we always fold our fabric this way. But in some cases, you may be short of fabric, so you want to kind of make use, because this other part like this, you want to make use of what you have. Okay, you may just use this, but make sure that if you are cutting it like this, if you are cutting it like from this way to this way, all your cuttings should be this way to this way. If you're cutting it from here to here. It should be, all your curtains should be this way. Why? Because if you cut, like for example, if I cut from this way, then I realized that my fabric is too small. I decided to fold it over like this and cut it this other way. This side here that you've just cut is going to be more stretchy than this other side. Okay, you may end up having a funny look right there. Let me pull again my fabric. You go ahead. Let me put my scissors somewhere so that I can not fall. Okay. See, you get a fabric, you pull up like this. You see, you can see the way it's stretched, right? When you pull it up like this, you see that it's stretched. All fabrics, even if it is non-stretchy fabric, when you pull it like this, you notice that there's one side that's a little bit stretchy than the other one. You see, look like this. Then if you pull it up like this, it's stretched, but not as the other side. You see, it's kind of a little bit stiff than this other side. Look, you see, right? I hope you get it. So this dress I'm going to be using for me, I'm going to be printing it for me. As you know, this is a stretchy fabric we're going to be using, and in some cases when your fabric is that stretchy, you have to minus some inches from your measurement. Okay, I did not even take the full length of my dresser, so let me just quickly sketch it how long I want it to be. Sorry about that. It's a short one, so it should be like something like, I don't want it to be short because last time I made the dress. Okay, it is good for it to be longer than for it to be. Let's just say, okay, I'm gonna do it up like this. 49. Yeah. 49, not too long. No, 49. Okay. Like I said that, well, sometimes when you're making up, when you're cutting stretchy fabric, if your fabric is that stretchy, you have to go ahead and minus some inches because it's big. If it is that stretchy, you might end up taking about 1 inch from there, or even 1.5 inch, depending on how stretchy your fabric is. If it is not that stretchy, you can just go ahead and use the exact measurement. I mean, for example, if this one, look at it. If I cut it like this with my measurement, it's still going to be big. So I'm going to just minus half inch from my measurement. You see? It's, yeah. You see, right? So I will be folding my fabric like this into two. Right side facing right side. Right side facing right side. Like that. As you can see, this is crepe. I didn't know if I didn't mention this before. The fabric I'm working on is crepe. Crepe. My fabric is crepe now. So to pull this bulk and fold that fabric really well. The fabric I'm working on is crepe. You can see the thing is even running away. My tablet like this, I don't know what happened today. It refused to lock me. So let me make use of this. So I'll be folding my fabric like this, 1/4 of my measurement. So, but this is more than 1/4 of my measurement. Okay. So I'm gonna fold 1/4 of my measurement. You can even design it if you have enough piece. You can design it the way you want. Ooh. So then, like I said, this is 1/4 of my measurement. It's too big, you see. So meaning that I'm gonna have a lot. This fabric remaining. I could just cut my this fabric like that, something so that it will not move. No, but if I want to pull it up now, how am I going to pull it up? I'm thinking of something that I'm going to put this up so that it will not move. Okay. Now take here. I'll fold my fabric 1/4 of my measurement. So my hip measurement, okay? So this 1/4 of my hip measurement. This fabric can move a lot, especially when it's on the table like this. 1/4 of my hip measurement. Then, like I said, we're not going to be using my fabric any like extra allowance from there. Okay, so I'm simply folding my fabric into two. I have folded into two, right side facing right side. Is it even? No, I need that instead. This is the right side I'm using. Yeah, it's the right side. This is the rough side. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this is the rough side. Sorry, friends, I have to flip it again in case I realize I'm even though the fabric. So I'll be folding. You know, fabric like this is quite a little bit difficult for you to actually differentiate which one is the right side and which one is the wrong side. So what I always do, like to touch it up to feel the texture. I did that. You text it up. I mean, you just touch it up like that. You see the texture. You notice, especially these finished edges here. No, normally you come here. If you touch it here, you notice that the texture is same but not that same. But if you cannot really get it straight, just come here like this. You touch it. The side that is rough should be the wrong side. You've learned something new today, right? So I'm trying to fold this. Where is that tablet? I don't go move that tablet because I get here on the chair. I must have on it. So quickly go ahead now. This fabric, I want to be able to manage it up the way in such a way that nothing is going to be left. Huh? So that I should just, if it is many, I'll be very happy if I have leftover of this fabric because I want to make something with it on top. So I'll just quickly go ahead now and bring my chalk, but I want to make sure that you all are seeing where I'm working. Okay, so I'm just folding my fabric into two. Like I said, when your fabric is stretches, sometimes you have to go ahead and minus some inches from there, and your measure for some inches from your measurement, or sometimes you could just leave it up like that. You cut the exact measurement and then you're gonna stitch without adding any allowance. You are welcome. Okay, so this is my fabric folded into two. I'm gonna draw a straight point. This tutorial I'm working on, it is an off shoulder. It's not going to have an off shoulder. We're going to be adding up a organza to it, to give it the flourish looking. Okay, so I've just drawn a start point, which is chest line. Okay, this is the chest line. The chest line. So now from that chest line, I'm going to go ahead. Normally, what we normally do is to measure minus that measurement that we normally take. Let me say, this dress is not going to have a half length, okay? But it is. We're just going to do it like this, so you'll be able to understand. Okay. Normally, when we always what am I saying? When we always make the normal basic pattern, we always measure from take the shoulder measurement divided by 2, measure armhole depth, stand it down by 1 inch, then we move now to the armhole depth, we mark the chest line. Okay, now this tutorial we're going to be starting on the chest line. I hope I'm clear. We're going to be starting on the chest line. So you're going to take your shoulder measurement from your under bust, from your waistline. You minus 7 inch from there. You can minus 8 inch from there. So my half length, normally my half length is 15 inch. So let's just say I'm going to minus 7 inch from there. Automatically, okay, automatically at minus 7 inch. I'll be left with 8 inch. So I'm going to go ahead now and measure the from the chest to the half length, which is 15 inch, my normal 15 inch. But like I said, I'll not be using up this but we have to use this because we are not going to be having any half length on our dress, but we are going to be using this measurement because we'll need it to cut up to add the waist, the hip measurement. So I'll measure now from the chest to the hip depth line, which is 22 inch. I'm going to move now to the length of the dress. I'm going to go with 50 inch. Yeah, that's how long I want it to be, 50 inch. And I'll be adding up about my 1 inch for the hemming allowance. Now we are going to go ahead, draw straight lines from here like that and like so. Now what I'm going to do is to go ahead now. Remember, this dress, first of all, I did not mention this part. We're not going to be adding any of that to it because this is a stretchy fabric, like I say. Okay, there are so many things you don't do like we do on a normal fabric that we don't do on a stretchy fabric. Okay, now what we're going to do on the chest line, I'll put 1/4 of my bust measurement. 1/4 of my bust measurement. Then normally I always add 1 inch, 1.5 inch. This I'm going to just add. I will add ½ inch for my sewing allowance. Like I said, this fabric is stretchy, okay? In some cases you have to reduce it. So I'll come here, put 1/4 of the waist. Round waist, round chest is 34 divided by 4 is going to give me 8.5. I add a ½ inch to it, up equals to 9. Round waist is 28 divided by 4 is going to give me 7. I'll add ½ inch to it, making it 7.5. Round hip is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9. 38 divided by 4. Yeah, 9.5. I'm not mistaken, eh? Yeah, it should be 9.5. Matemáticas, ya no me acuerdo de nada. Por favor. Yeah. Yeah, you 9.5. 9.5. Then we'll be adding ½ inch, making it 10 inch. Take your time. ½ inch, making it 10 inch. Just a ½ inch with that sewing allowance. Now, this part we're going to go ahead and connect it up like this. So I'm going to do like this. Then I'm going to do like so. You see? Now, what I'm going to do is simply, I will just measure up whatever I have there. I'm going to be taking it down. Except you want the downer part. If you want it to be more pencil. So what I'm having here is, yeah? What did I do here? Ha! Normally, this is, oh, I went and next say. Luckily, I measure it though. Just imagine that I did not. Okay, sorry, we have to reconnect this up. So my round hip is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.5. Then adding up ½ inch to it, making it 10 inch. I was really wondering why this part is being small like this. Is it have become so tiny? I know. So like this. Okay, we have 10 inch. I'm simply going to come here like this. I will measure up that 10 inch. Or if you want it to be a pencil one, if you want it to be a pencil dress, you simply get by the 1 inch from there. Okay, for example, I have 10 inch, you can go ahead and minus 1 inch from there. But this part, we need to do it right down. So I'm going to first of all go ahead now and mark my 10 inch, yeah, so that I'll be able to have the same 10-inch here and 10-inch here. When I get to the hemline, then you see what I'm referring to. So this part, I'm going to be connecting it up straight. All right, straight. All right, you see the way I'm doing it, right? You see the way I am doing it. So I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. Okay, that's why I had to pin it up. So this is where it's going to end. I'll draw that line up. Then I'll continue this line all the way straight like this. So actually saying that if you want it to be like a pencil at the hemline, what you're simply going to do is you're going to minus 1 inch from there, or you can even minus half inch. If you want it to be less, you can minus 3/4 inch. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me do 3/4 inch. I should leave it up like that. I'm going to minus 3/4 inch, okay? Yeah, 3/4 inch, which is right there. And come here, 3/4 inch, which is going to give me this part here. That's because if you want it to be a pencil one at the hemline, so I could just go ahead now, connect this way. It's going to be a pencil, but remember, you have to add up a opening at the back, because there's no way you're going to wear this pencil except this is going to be working like okay. So you are welcome. So I have just done with the front. Yeah, the front. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead. I'll be leaving, I think, half inch at the hemline. Oh, this way, because there's no way I'm gonna cut this in. And if you notice that I added just half inch. Like I said, this fabric is stretchy. If you don't believe me, you go ahead and use a stretchy fabric. Maybe you just go ahead and add up your sewing allowance. That thing is going to come out big on you. Very big, in such a way that you'll be wondering if you went and borrow somebody's dress. So I'm just simply cutting it up like that. Oh. Ooh, I went to. Okay. I put it here. I hold you first. So enough water. I will not be running around. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I'm simply going to go ahead, quickly pin this up, because we're going back. We're going to be using this to cut the back as well. The difference is just the zipper. So, and we're going to be adding just we can add half inch for the zipper alone. So I've just pinned this up. I'm going to go ahead and fold again. This fabric was that big here. So this part, I can use it to make that top I want to make. So I'm going to flip it to the other side. Let me just continue from here. Yeah, I can either go ahead and use the other side, but let me just continue this part up. Okay, and no. Fold. As you can see, I'm folding it, cutting it the same direction. I don't want to go ahead and cut it in such a way that if you cut it the opposite direction, like you cut this other one like this and cut it the other side, you notice that one side is going to be stretchy, the other side won't be stretchy. So avoid that. So what I'm going to just quickly place up the front on it. But this time around, I'm going to place it up like this, adding up Zipper allowance. I hope you got me. Sorry, I said sewing allowance. Add up zipper allowance, not sewing allowance. Okay. You can see the zipper allowance I'm adding to it is not even up to 1 inch. Okay, because the fabric is stretchy. For any zipper allowance you add inch, you add there, you have to go ahead and minus it from there. Okay, so this is it. Let me quickly go ahead and mark. This is, where is the waist? This is the waist. Okay, and quickly go ahead now to mark up the waist. This is it. I'm gonna just press on my curve like this and mark up, because we need to do a little bit of adjustment at the back so that we don't have that funny look, or the zipper is going to be pushing behind. I hate that. Okay, there's nothing different here apart. The only thing that is different is just the zipper allowance that is different. Okay, that we're going to be cutting it different. The rest of the stuff is the same. Please take note of that. Okay, the rest of the stuff is the same. Okay, we are cutting. I'm moving my pin so that I know go ahead and destroy my scissors. Okay. Already my coconut face is showing. So I'll just simply go ahead now and notch way the waist. Now it's quite very important. So I'll be joining this part together, and I'm gonna give it a small notch right there. Okay, not too deep. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and separate up the back. Now this is what I'm going to do to avoid any kind of budging right here. Here at this part, let me just measure up. Whatever I have there is about 1 inch. But how come it's 1 inch when I left this happen? It's about 1 inch. Okay, let's just say we're going to go in here. We're going to go in by this up. We're going to do 3/4 inch. Now we're going to go in by at least 0.25. All right, so we're going to connect this kind of fix automatically the zipper, so that will not be kind of looking funny. You know, some people when they sew their clothes, if you notice that the zipper is kind of looking very funny, wish to avoid that, we always do this up. You can go in by 1/2 inch, but I'm going in here by 0.25, which is right there. You're gonna see the difference. Let me just quickly look at this. It's kind of a little bit far, but later on I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I'm just gonna put, see the one going in here like this. I will come in here like this. Then you want to give it kind of in a V shape, right? Just to avoid that zipper from looking really funny at that part, especially at the. So this is what I mean here. If you check, it's kind of, it's not really straight. So check this part. If you check, it's kind of not really straight. It comes in like this, give it in the form of a V shape inside. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this to be straight enough. Okay. Okay, this is it. Now we're going to be cutting up the lining for this. Gonna cut the lining. To cut up the lining, we see I have to cut the lining the same direction, so at least we should not be, nothing should be looking funny. So if everything is stretchy, they should go ahead and be stretchy. So I'm just simply going to go ahead and fold, bring this duty on top. Is it okay? Or smaller? Maybe I'm just now. Okay. You can cut small tiny. So remember, we still have to cut this fabric. This is how we did folded our fabric inward like this. So I'm gonna fold inward like that. You see, make sure that I fold it the same direction. I'll take my both front and back and place it on it like this. One to cut small tiny lining for both the back and the front. The front is going to be on fold, while the back is going to be 2 pieces. You can add straps to it if you want. Okay, I'm gonna cut my lining. If you want, you can cut a lining that is going to end on the waist. Okay, but I'll not be doing. Yeah, should we cut the line that's going to be on the waist? We're needing 2 lining for both the back and the front. Don't forget that we have to add up the zipper allowance. If you want, you can just cut tiny lining. Like, there's no need for you to cut a lining that is going to end on your waist. They have to. I'm so happy. It's one top I saw and I wanted to put to it. I said, first of all, let me go ahead and make a dress for myself, right? So my tablet now can go outside. They have refused to come. So we have the front and the back. Now we are going to go ahead and join pieces to pieces. I'm going to join the back, join the front. uh, okay, so I have the back. I'm simply going to go ahead and join the side seam of it. I'll be placing right side facing right side. So this is it. If you can see here, it's not straight line. That's what I was trying to explain. So I'm going to go ahead and place right side facing right side. Make sure that the notch that we did notch, even though I think this one is a bit far away from the top. So I'm going to go ahead now and just pin the side seams. And remember that half inch that I added, I have to minus that half inch, because if not, this thing is going to be big on me. I don't want to see myself like coming back to reduce it. Yeah. Okay. And remember that we are going to leave an opening behind, because if not, there's no way we can work. We can work with this dress. Okay. You see what is being done here? It means shows that the other side, this is something a little bit different from that. I'll bring this up right there. Making sure there's nothing looking there like a river. Everything should be straight as possible. Okay. Now when we are stitching, remember this is a stretchy fabric. You can either set your machine at the smallest zigzag stitch, or you set it at a small, almost the smallest stitch of your machine, of your regular stitch of your machine. Because if not, this is going to break, except you have an overlock that you're going to just overlock it up to avoid that. But me, I don't have an overlock, so this is what I'm going to be doing. Alright, so pin right side, this in right side. Remember, I just added half inch to it. That half inch, I must take it away. When I'm stitching, I have to minus it. Because if not, like I said, I keep on repeating myself. If not, it's going to be big. And I don't want to see myself coming back to this to adjust it. That thing was big, so I had to. No. This time around. Okay. So I'm going to just go ahead, and it's a simple dress, a pencil one. It's a straight dress. No, no darts. It's going to be added to this dress. All stretchy fabric, normally we always made it without adding darts to it. But this one, the stretchiness of the fabric is going to give you that that's allowance that we always kind of adjust it so that the dress is going to be fitted. You know what I mean? So, my pin. I also pin the back. I'm gonna pin the back as well, making sure I pin all the pieces together. My pin, but I have to leave at least a zipper allowance. My zipper allowance is going to be how many inches, depending on my zipper. So I'm just going to go ahead. I will pin this back, then I will have to mark where the zipper allowance I will stop stitching from. Okay. And I'm also going to mark where my split is going to start from, because like, should I put it on the side? So I can put it on the side there, so I put it on the back. It's always like that to do at the back. I think I'm going to do it at the side. This time around I'll have to do it at the side or at the back. Okay, so for the back, normally I'm just pinning up the back, but we're not going to be stitching everything closer. I'll take off the zipper that I want to use. Normally it should end somewhere around before my hip. I'm gonna mark somewhere around here. I'm gonna pin. Then with the hemline, what I'm also gonna do, I'm gonna come here and measure from here all the way to 14 inch. Let's see what I have here. What I have there is about 15 inches. That part is going to be open. So we'll stitch an end here. We have to end here. This part is going to be open. Let me see. Or is it too up? It's no. I'm going to have to increase it a little bit. I'm going to stop somewhere around here. This part will be open. From here, it's going to be open. From here, we're going to stitch. Right? It is better. Now, it's time for us to pin up the lining. Is the lining. Right side facing right side, side seam facing right side seam. Wait. That is side seams, Anita. This is the side seams. Okay. There. I'm not gonna make mistake. I'm gonna make this thing out. There's the side seam. Okay, seem like there's a little bit of mistake. I'm gonna pin that up. Pin this up. And pin this up. Remember that we have to leave. Let me see. Okay, this is it. The lining of it. Okay. Now it's time for us to stitch the clothes. Close your ears. Beautiful color. Thank you, organza. Yes, thank you guys. What's the new? So I'm making up a dress. Making up a dress. It's a simple dress with that one. It's a simple dress, you know. For that matter. A simple one. Very simple. Oh. So when I came now, reduce your volume. Reduce your volume. So now, normally I'm going to set my tension at 3. No, 2. I'm going to set the width at 2. Almost the smallest seat, but not the smallest seat, because if not, this is going to break, believe me. Or you can do a small zigzag stitch right there. Okay. So it's time for us to start stitching that. It's time for us to start stitching. So I have to minus that ½ inch that I added. That ½ inch. Where is the back? The back. Okay, I'm going to minus the ½ inch that we added to it. So we are going to, this is my ½ inch. is a very tiny stitch it. Yee. Let's see. I have to change my needle. Focus on the punto, digamos. Punto, okay. Do you guys know that this? What is that this thing? I came on. This is the one I was using. Yeah. I'm looking for what am I looking for? No, I'm looking for my por favor. That's what I'm looking for. I have to change the needle because it's skipping, so I need to use the smaller needle. Thread well, it's skipping. I will try this out. Okay. Somehow I hope we're not gonna have any issue. You know, I'm even stitching and going at the same time I did. The thing has cut. Eh? Where was I? Is it that the thread is too thick? No. I did not even know. I pass it through. If I did not check now, I would have been deceiving myself. I'm going. No. Por favor, no me haga perder el tiempo. The fabric can be too thick now. Yeah, I'm just thinking that maybe the fabric is too thick. No, it's not thick. This is, I've set it to 2.5. There's something like money. No, like that. A little bit downward. It's still skipping. I'm just changing the thread now, the needle. Let's try this from the beginning. You see the way I'm coming down here? Bring it up. Like this, like that. You know, this thing now, they can make me to lose patience. The same way, you need to have a lot of patience. Can make me to lose patience. Let me. Like that. You know what? Again, U shape. So this thing like that can make me to lose patience. You think that? That's the second time I'm threading this machine. I want to set it at 2.5, yeah, so that at least it's still skipping. Oh, por favor. It cannot be the needle. No? Let me remove the needle again. You see, this is the one I was using before. It was not sticking in. No, this one. This one is 80. And the fact that the numbers are quite very tiny. The same I was using 80. Let's see. It's 90. No? If I have 200, I'll even use. I don't think I have one. Let's just 90. This is 90. Is it 90 or 80, Anita? You look at my village people are finally. My village people are after me. They say you should not sew today, which I really wanted to sew. I hate to waste time like this, Please not go ahead. I'm reaching again. So let me test it here. Stitching at the same time. There is something I'm not doing. I remove it again. Just I don't even have this thread. I don't even have enough of it. So if this set it at 3, it should not be even at 2.5 is good. I don't want to waste time. This is something that I would have just done in a second. If this thing was working, second, not second. I'm going to put this thing again. That's it. That's it. If it doesn't stitch now, I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go and sleep. Yeah. This one was stitching but skipping it. And so what is loose? What is that? Even that noise that's making that tiny noise making. This one is better, but it's still skipping. I'll put it again. Maybe it's not even maybe it's not because of that. We don't have a similar thread. No similar thread. No, I don't even have a similar thread. So most of this is yeah, it's good. So yeah, this thing just want to waste me time. I'll just go and sleep in now. That's what I'm sleeping. I'll try it again. Let me give it the last chance. Last chance. Last chance. I'll try this one again. I used this machine yesterday. It was not making like this. Or I did not even check what I was stitching with. No, is it yesterday? Or day before yesterday? Even though I just go and sleep. This one I'm even stitching now. This one. Okay, let's see. We lose it a little bit. When I was today, I was saying, let me just try to fix this worksheet. Today is, we're not going to finish this dress. We'll only go and finish it tomorrow. And see, it's just skipping. I'm going to try to hiding up attention. This one like this came with this thing, which I hate it because the other machine, I'm still going to cut another piece. It's by 5x4, so we must fix it. Okay. Because I already have this. Change the video. This one was 110. 110. 80. 80. I think these are the needles I bought from Amazon. Those needles were like horrible. Yeah. Just use something different. I don't even have that shred menu. Except that I have to, like this, come down, go up, pass it down here, and then what happened? What is the problem? You see that? I'm gonna bring it up here. So 3. Okay, guys. So they say patient dog eat the fattest bone. So you cannot sew if you're not patient. Oh God, eh? Just have less and less. It means there is a needle. This one is stitching out well. I'll go back. See the difference? You see me something like this? See? This one is stitching out very well. You can see, right? Can you see this one is stitching now? This is what we're trying to do. We're skipping. So this is how small I want my stitches to be. It's kind of very tiny. Eh? Let me go to 3. Yeah, a little bit. This way is not going to break. So I'm going to go back and retrieve. This one was under the threader machine. Bring it up like that. Bring it down like this. Pass it up. Give it a U. Bring it up like this and bring it down and bring it here. Cut it up. I'm gonna put it inside. This other one like this. You is going and this is what they say, the patient of the fattest bone. Sometimes that's why I always say that if you're stressed, if you are tired, you're not supposed to stitch. Because of always my time. Yeah? This time they say, I may have pictures. I'm going to use, this is a little bit at 2. I go ahead and try again. Now I see the problem is coming from here. Now I see where the problem is coming from. Because this fabric is stretchy, Yeah, because immediately as I put it to 2, now I see where the problem is coming from. Not that the thing was not. So I hope you're going to respect your sewing and stitch. Ah, shit. Okay. Now see where the problem was coming from here. Because not even the needle. Now it is stitching well. If I had an overlock, I'll just go ahead and just overlock it. That's all. I'll not be wasting my time stitching this up. But that's the main reason. See, I'm taking my time and I'm not feeling anything. I'm making sure I don't feel anything off. Stitching. Oh God. Let's know. Okay, no, this is the back. I was like, okay, let's not be that I instead when I help and stitch the back, everything down. Well, I've just been crying anyhow. So this back is gonna end up here, start here. Maybe I'm gonna stitch about half an inch in. So yeah, joint of this part. We're leaving this part open here. You can see, right? You see? The stitches are quite tiny in such a way that even if it pull up like this, clase de costura, you can never, it will never break. So just looking at this, see, I took again inside, not only that I have in, but a little bit more, right? Because I'm sure that if I don't do so, it's gonna be big on me. So I don't want to have to run myself here, coming back to come and arrange things up. So I'm going to join the side seams of this one. Industrial machine, because this industrial machines are very good when it comes to, it can sew anything thick, small, large. And next machine industrial machine that I'm going to be using. So guys, we have done the cutting and joining this part together. Tomorrow we're going to be adding all the organza and the zipper. This is already too late here. So hope to see you tomorrow. I'm going to leave everything just the way it is. We'll finish up tomorrow. We'll have to cut up the organza, join them up, then gather it up, add it up to our project. So hope to see you tomorrow. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.